getting set up here. That morning coffee can't really. Well, can we live without it? We can live without just about anything. But do we want to? No, we don't. We want to have our coffee. This mug of coffee. It's a staple in the diet season when I'm cutting, trying to get as lean as possible and restricting my carbohydrate intake. Quite different from now. I'm eating as much as I can. Just trying, but not dirty though. Just eating a lot of clean food, a lot of protein. Go over a breakfast this morning. 250 grams of chopped chicken. How many ounces is that? That's 10. 11 ounces of chicken, 5 whole eggs, 200 grams of rice, and a really big arepa, which is what they call the tortilla, the corn tortilla here in Colombia. It's around 30 grams of carbohydrates and the coffee. And a lot of water. Drink a lot of water here. So, before we get into this episode, please hit that subscribe button, post notifications, leave a comment to get a dialogue going back and forth. There's so many things to talk about. There's so many things to discuss on this journey of muscle building and fat burning and all these things that we love to do as physique people. So, today, to get the conversation going, I'm going to go over my leg routine. Another leg routine out of a series of many, many leg routines. Here the difference is, I'm starting to go for reps. I'm starting to hit not walls. I mean, I could really always push it and try to get stronger and stronger and stronger and just, try to move as much weight as I can. And I love to do that. It's exciting for me to do. And I believe it does build the body. Absolutely. How can it not? I mean, if it's different if you can move 500 pounds on the squat than if you're really challenged with 2.5 plates. I mean, there's a big difference in the person, right? It's like it'd be asinine to think otherwise. You can rationalize and come up with all kinds of theories and studies that this builds muscle better than this and all of that. The point is, you got to get strong. Now, I feel I'm pretty strong. Of course, there's guys much stronger than me. I wish I was stronger than I am right now, but I'm strong enough. And my legs were lagging. They're starting to come up a little bit. My God, is it hard to build the legs? I mean, it really is. It's not like they just blow up. It's like, whoa, now I got these big quads, happening. No, it takes a lot of work. So for the last month, since October, I started the rebound and the whole thing. And I'm looking at my Excel, and it's only been, it hasn't even been 4 weeks. It seems like a year. Like, honestly, it seems at least a few months, not 3 weeks. And it must be because there's so much activity going on in my life. I mean, I train almost every single day. My business, my family. It's just everything is full on right now. It's like everything is full on. And it just seems a time, I don't know, for me, a month seems like a year. It's like, it's nice. Really is nice. Get a lot of stuff done. Anyways, straying quite a bit. ADD happening again. Coffee, kick in. The legs, they've been coming up slowly but surely. So this morning I noticed when I got up, my legs are rubbing more than normal. I put on my sweats, and it's like they're feeling tighter now, and I love that feeling. I used to hate it when I was fat. Now I'm trying to build muscle. It's like I can't get enough of the tight feeling, of the rubbing, of the uncomfortable thing. It's like the psychology of this thing is unbelievable. So I'm going to go over the change in the routine now. And it's not change. I don't do, okay, now for 6 weeks I'm going to do this. I'm very hard pressed to really stick to something now, for long term, because there's so many tools. Why would I, if I go in on a session and I know that I need to do something, I'm not going to stick to a written routine because I'm not competing in powerlifting. If I was competing for a max, I would absolutely adhere to a super 100% strict written out routine of reps and weight and percentages and all that. But this is different. We're trying to build muscle. We're trying to take advantage of our state of mind, of our aggression at that particular day, of our protein, of everything to try to build as much muscle as we can when we have the opportunity to do so. So, all this to say, we're striving for reps now. Repetitions. Does it mean lowering the weight? A little bit. Actually, what it means is as we're trying to hit our top weights, our top lifts, we don't do feeder sets. We do pyramids. So that in itself is a limiting factor to how strong you will be on your last set. But that doesn't matter because we're not going for absolute total, maximum output. We're going for work volume. So it doesn't matter if you get tired when you reach your 4-plate squat. It's just as an example. You don't try to save your energy for that one big lift. You're doing like reps going up, and you may not hit 4 plates. It may be 3.5 because you're doing 12. But the purpose here is to build up a lot more work volume, a lot more pump in the muscle, a lot more focus and isolation on the target muscle. And let me tell you, reps work. They absolutely... Let me just put it this way. Yesterday, I used less weight than I usually do, and I'm not advocating to drop the weight totally. I hate that. There's always going to be days where you have to lift heavy. I just stated that at the beginning of the video. But on these particular days when you're going for reps, you can't do both. There's a saying that a man who chases 2 rabbits will catch neither. I like that. So today we were chasing the reps. And at the end of the session, I was so fatigued. The fatigue was beyond anything that I normally feel when I'm lifting heavy weights. It's just different. I was totally spent. I just couldn't move. My legs were oh man, it was just an exquisite fatigue. It was so hardcore. And it's just from doing more work volume in the reps. Taking a set, you say, okay, 20 reps, for example, the psychology of a 20 rep set, when it's challenging. When you're starting out, you go, oh, good Lord. And then you get to 8. Remember, this is 20. You get to 8 and you start thinking, I just got 4 more to go. No, you hit 12, you want to stop. Okay, you hit 12 reps, you want to stop because you're tired. But you got to go through, 3 more reps to hit 15, then you're at 15, and then it's 5 more reps. And so it's grueling. It takes you to places where you really have to push. It's okay, good, I'm stopped. I stop. Boom, boom, I stop. No, you're there. You're under duress. It's painful, not to the joints or anything like that. It's a different kind of pain. It's just systemically hard. It's difficult, and then you just got to keep on doing that. So you have to go into a pain, an area of discomfort. Basically, it's just uncomfortable. So you go into an area of discomfort, and the challenge is to stay there for as long as possible. Now, why would somebody do that? Because of the freaking results. The results. And it gives satisfaction because there are results. If there was no results, what satisfaction would that bring? Unless you're a masochist. I just like to hurt myself. I like to feel duress and stress and uncomfort, and discomfort. I like to sleep on a bed of nails. No. There are real results. I got off that hack sled and it was man, my legs are tight. They're pumped. I'm starting to see a little bit of vascularity on my vastus, the medial, muscle onto the teardrop, they call it, and up the quad. And I'm going, man, that's just pumping a lot of blood there. And so I did it again. I did 5 sets. The only one I bombed on was on the top set. I could only get 8. I said, there's just no way. As soon as I started the set, it was 4 reps, and then I stopped. And okay, I'm going to do clusters. I'm going to do, 5 clusters of 4. Yeah. I did another 2, and then I stopped, did 1. I said, no, just enough. I can't. It was I bombed out. Could I have done 20 reps? If my life depended on it, sincerely and truly, if my life depended on it, I would have had to, but it's not something I voluntarily did. So I stopped because there was that was the first exercise, second exercise of my 5 exercise leg routine. So high reps. Good Lord, man. And then from there went to this particular exercise, which I've been doing the last few sessions, which I find unbelievably effective for targeting the leg. I wouldn't call it just the quad. It targets the glute, it targets the ham, it targets everything without putting stress on my knee, which is the Bulgarian split on the Smith machine. And it's just one of these, it's also an uncomfortable move. I mean, you can get into a groove, yeah, but I don't know. I'm just relating my personal feeling and experience. When I get to 8 reps, I want to stop. I don't know if it's just, am I lazy? Well, I don't think I'm lazy. I do a lot of this. I never stop training, so am I lazy? But there's always an instinct to like, okay, enough. So, the last few sessions I've been doing 10 reps. And today I did 12. Those extra 2 reps for 6 sets just put an extra bit of pain in the assery into it. It's like, yeah, man, this shit is work, man. It was like on the last set, I was just praying to God that it'd be over. I was only halfway through my routine. It's like, oh, I'm working, I'm like really working this shit, the sled, the leg curls. I started out with my very first set was the leg curls, first exercise. And I'm bringing the weight up a little bit. Like, I don't start with easy weight. I start with something that I have to work at. It's challenging. And then from there, I bump it up like 40 pounds on the pins for each set. And I did 4 of those, finished with like 140 pounds. So, I'm mistaken. I started out with 80 pounds, 100, 120, and 140. So I did like 20-pound jumps. And not easy. Just have to be very careful of not pulling in my hamstring or tearing a muscle and all these things like I have to keep in mind now, because I have torn my hamstring by doing yanking pulling. It's like, pull it up, bullet through the back of your leg. Be very careful when you're pulling and yanking heavy weights. And then from there, the sled, and then the Bulgarian split, and it's like, oh my God. And then from there, I went to the one exercise that I've been looking forward to all week, which is the vertical press machine. This particular vertical press is like no other machine I've ever tried. It really does put all the stress on the legs. It takes nothing on the back, nothing on the knees. It's just, so you lay down, upside down, and I just let it drop until I can't move my leg anymore. I don't bring my knee all the way down to my chest. It won't go down anymore. I saw Flex Lewis demonstrating this on a video before I went to the gym. And he's bringing his knee all the way down, like, to his chest. And I noticed the guy's much shorter. First of all, here's the thing, man. Their body proportions are different. So don't take a cue. If you're a taller guy, don't take a cue from a short guy, okay? And if you're short, the tall guy, he's got not much to show you either. You got to find your own proportions. And so I literally just let that thing just rest. How far are you going to come down? Just rest until my leg was like spring loaded, like you're jacking down a spring. Spring load that thing like a jack in the box, and you go boom. I let it just sit down on my leg. And it's not even 90 degrees. That's fine. Range of motion is limited by the amount of muscle mass I now have. I love that. It's great. That's what you want. Limited range of motion due to increased muscle size and muscle mass. That's why big chested guys don't, can bench 500 pounds, because they're not these shallow chested guys who have to bring down the bar like 5 feet, like, ooh, boom, 3 stories down. It's like, it's shorter range of motion, and it's usually at the top end. Now there is a difference there from a long-limbed guy with a long leg, with long arms, bringing the bar down. You measure that bar. Shit, went down like 1.5 yards. Then you get this short, barrel-chested power lifter, say, and he's doing 400 pounds with short arms and big chest. And then you measure it and say, well, it went down 30 inches. It went down, like 28 inches. Oh, you mean it didn't go down 60 inches? No, there's a big difference in range of motion there. I'm getting distracted again with the range of motion on the leg press. Here, I was already so tired. I did like 2 plates, 3 plates, Then I had promised myself I was going to go for a 5-plate. And I said, if I do 4 plates, I'm not going to hit 5 plates. So I just jumped from 3 to 5. And the pressure on it was like, it was just very heavy. It just felt heavy. I know I can do it, but on this particular occasion, it just felt extremely heavy. Like, and all that pressure, I felt it on my face. Like on my ears, my face. It's like trying to push that thing up. And I only got 3 reps. And so that was it. That was it. That was the final movement for that. And then I went and did the adductor. So what I want to get at here, also in reviewing these, and that was not very high rep. The 2 and 3 plates were. I did like 16, 15 reps on each one. Next time I go in, I'm not doing those 5 plates yet. I'm going to do like 25 reps with 3 plates. Try to do 4 or 5 sets of those. Just maybe I'll do a pause, I'll do a cluster, I'll do just a lot more reps with a less weight. And then, I'll go in and do my 5 plates easier one day when I'm fresh. I'll do 8 to 10. And then I'll feel great about myself, geez, strong. And then I'll go back and do the reps because the reps are killing it. Now, I just want to get in a word edgewise. Let myself speak, please. So I got to let myself speak about exercise selection. It seems like with the legs, as with many other things, exercise selection is really important. Like, how do you set up your training routine? What's the best way to approach these compound moves, and where do you put in the isolation moves? No, I do all my compounds and then I do the isolations at the end. That might not be the best way. Like for me, I always start out with a leg intensive cardio for 10 minutes to warm up. Either a bicycle, I'll do the bicycle just to warm up the knees. In the last few sessions, I've been doing the Stairmaster to pump the quads because I know I'm not going to be doing knee stressful moves, but the ones that will be stressing my quads. That's a trick. In and of itself, that's a trick. So I've been doing Stairmaster. So warm up with 10 minutes, quads are a little bit pumped just from the cardio. Then I do an isolation move, then the compound, then a semi-compound isolation like a split or a lunge, and then I go to the another heavy compound. By this time I'm totally burned out, having done like 20 sets of hard work, and then I'll finish with isolation exercises because they're easier, they demand less energy, even though they can be very intense also. So that's basically it, guys, for this, for today's workout. Incredible session on the legs, and it's a day in, day out thing. Just staying on point. Haven't missed a workout in so long. Don't plan on I don't plan on missing. I made a prayer to God when I was in quarantine that when I had the opportunity to do the things that I knew I wanted to do, I would not miss one opportunity to do so. And it's like, the admonishment of, work while you still can, do things while you can, because there might become a day that you can't. You might be dead and you can't live. That's final enough. So while you're alive, it's always smart to do as much as you can. Do everything in your power to live every single day to the fullest. Get off that freaking couch. Get out of the house. Do your activities. There'll be time enough for resting. And the more you do, the more activities you do, they tend to enable you to do even more activities. Like the more organized you are, the more you can cram in and just do all these things. And then rest is so much better. I come home and it takes me like 2 seconds when I hit my head on the pillow. It's like, and I'm gone. I'm dead. And, lately I've been dreaming that I've been in paradise. I have these beautiful dreams lately. Man, it's just like wonderful. I feel so good. God has been really just gracious to me. I've been blessed beyond belief. And I'm putting in my part. Which is don't do the things that you know are wrong in your life. No vices. Just staying on point with everything. And you can't do much more than that. We're only human, we're trying to be our best versions of ourselves, and that's not the hardest thing to do. It's much harder to lose at the end, to come up with a pack of excuses, a pack of lies, a pack of, if I would have had this situation or that, it might have been better, if I would have had more money or whatever. And, the losers with the excuses. I hate that. It's so... Oh man, once I've gotten over it, like we all still have those moments where we can, maybe our instinct is to try to find an excuse, but there's no excuses. You are what you really truly want to be. And if right now you're losing, I would strongly suggest, you straighten out. And if you're winning, stay on there. Don't leave that winning train, man. Just stay on there, stay on point, and get better and better and better every single day. It can be done. Thank God for your health. Thank God for every single day that you have. And just take advantage of it. Like they say, seize the day. God bless everybody. We'll see you on the next episode. And don't forget to subscribe.